I'm alive. Hello, live time. Time to be live. I think I'm live. Maybe. Hey, I'm live. Excuse me, you go over there, please. I'll go mouse and keyboard. Sound check. Sound check. There we go. Now I'm going to do the tweeters. Streaming. Right, so today I'm playing Beacon Pines. Really cool wee visual novel style, choose your own adventure style. I guess to a certain degree, certain extent, kind of horror-esque. Boink, boink. Right then, space. Kaboom! Your candle is a bit shit, sir.
Dear reader.
Hi.
Allow me to introduce you to my book.
Hello, book.
Though it might at first appear like many books you've come across, it is far from ordinary.
Well, yeah, because it means someone's reading it to me. That doesn't happen very often.
You may, therefore, have some misunderstandings about its nature. The story that awaits you has not been fully told. In fact, its conclusion is not yet known, even to myself.
Really? So, spoilers, I've actually seen someone play through this game. I know the script, and I'm looking forward to playing through it myself. Because it's a real pretty game. Has to be said. Just see if anybody's going to join me before I charge on, because that is literally the first page in it. So, juice time. Delicious sandwich. What? Shit, beg my microphone. Oops, I've still got tabs open. I'm so glad I'm actually able to stream tonight because earlier on the internet just decided to shit itself and die. There was nothing particularly up with the area. What I ended up having to do is turn the router off because the bit where the plug goes into the back was burning hot. So I think it just been overheating because I didn't sleep last night at all. Nana's in the hospital and stuff, so I'm kind of like, ugh. But I think just because it was on all night watching YouTube or listening to music or playing games, like I installed a couple of games for the run up to Halloween, including my Halloween stream game, and I think it just went, no, I'm tired, time for a nap. I've got 2 people viewing. That should be good enough.
It is in that way that my book is special.
Sure is,
It
bud.
is in that way that you are special. Without you, there is no story.
I feel
One.
important.
Normal isn't what it used to be. This is a story about change. Nestled in a shallow valley is the town of Beacon Pine. Far from the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, a young boy walks alone at dawn.
Hold on, actually, just the way this controls. How in the fuck did I manage that? You doing the thing? I'm going to see if it's alright with controller, because it is like to run around and interact with things, so... I might be able to get comfortable!
Dear reader, allow me to though it might have made the story that... In fact, it is in that way without you.
Hey, okay.
Chapter 1. Normal is... This is a story nestled in a shallow valley, far from the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign. A young boy walks alone at dawn. His name is Luca Van Horn, and like you, dear reader, he's here for a reason.
Did you get it? He's Van Horn because he's a goat. Hey Dad, how are things going? Today is the first day of summer vacation. I start middle school next year, I guess. Do you? Aye. I was 6 years old when you died. It's been 6 years now. From here on out, you'll have to be gone... From here on out, you'll have to be gone longer than you were here. Feels like that should mean something. Mum always said this tree was your favourite spot in the world. It's a great tree. Me too. Cats! Hey, Luca. I knew I'd find you here.
Rollo was Luca's closest friend. He possessed many fine qualities, but subtlety was not one of them.
I want to get started. Well, after I banged on your door till your gran answered, and after I checked the pond, and climbed up to the treehouse, then I knew I'd find you
He
here.
finally noticed the tears welling in his friend's eyes, and the flowers on the grave.
Oh yeah, right. You and your mum always did this on your dad's birthday. Yeah. Don't know if you're going to keep doing that now that your mom's gone too. She's not gone. She's just missing. Sorry, I meant to say since she went missing. She's going to come back, Rollo. I sure hope I didn't need to keep that on. There we go. Of course she is. Okay, Dad, see you next time. Think I'm ready to get out of here. Sure, lead the way. I can jump. Bet your ass I'm going to do it. Hee hee!
Wonderful! I had a good feeling about you from the moment you opened my book. That charm is a very special thing. Very special indeed. Keep hold of it for now. Its purpose will reveal itself soon enough.
Yeah. Home! Ah yeah, almost forgot. Whole reason I was looking for you. I was wondering if you'd ever get to that. Been a perfect way to start our summer. How's that?
Rollo looked to the side
Whoop, whoop.
suspiciously.
Hey, beef. Not here. They might be watching. They? Who? Shh, not so loud. Need to do this in a secure location. Mission control. Alright, still grand, then we can head out. What are you going to tell her? I don't know. I'll think of something. It's all the same to you. I'll meet you at the welcome sign. Your gran still kind of wigs me out. Don't do well with new people. She moved on like half a year ago. Just meet me at the sign when you're done. Search yourself. Won't be long.
Dear reader, forgive me for this interlude. Remember that charm you found in the dandelion patch? There are more of those special charms to discover throughout Beacon Pines. They've been known to reveal themselves to those who are willing. Some of them can be found in this very house.
That's a hint.
Since Gran had moved in, the house was more peaceful, more orderly, and more covered in flowery fabric.
Clock.
One of his father's old stethoscopes, Luca had spent countless hours hours listening to anything and everything with it. Not for years, though.
Don't worry, by the way, Beef. This is not a puzzle game. It is literally a visual novel where you make choices, that's it. You're
Gran had already
safe for this time.
She kept a warm house, as if by grandmotherly obligation. Luca paused at his parents' bedroom door. He just wasn't ready to go in yet. Gran had commandeered the upstairs closet when she moved in. Some things need shelter from a young boy's mischief, she said.
Oh! We just started sliding away that. That's not good.
Luca tossed on his favorite old sweater. Even though it was the first day of summer, a chill still hung in the air.
Loud.
Gran's moving in meant that most of Luca's things had been crammed in the corner. Luca was somewhat annoyed by the situation. Gran's bed was undisturbed. Luca didn't mind that she had a habit of falling asleep in front of the fireplace. It meant that he could read late into the night.
We've got a rebel!
Just some dusty knickknacks. The only piece of furniture Gran had brought when she moved in was an old hutch.
Water.
A pair of dull scissors, a broken can opener, a mostly empty bottle of glue, and some loose string. An array of prepared meals crowded the refrigerator, each labeled with the day of the week.
I should really do that, but
Oh my!
lazy.
This is quite exciting. I am now certain that you are the one I've been waiting for all these years. You'll recall I was a bit coy regarding the use of charms earlier.
Did I put bacon pines? No, I put on bacon pines. It's fine. But you confused me.
Excuse me, I tend to have a flair for the dramatic. You are about to encounter your first turning point. There are certain times in this tale when everything hinges on a single word. Step forth, dear reader.
If I must.
A beginner's guide to gardening laid open on the bench.
Gonna hang with Rollo for the day. See you later. Hold up now. Where are you and Rollo headed exactly? Don't know why the old woman has that voice. I know we're special.
Brand new, the better for everyone involved.
Well, we're just gonna go ponder for the day.
We were just gonna go ponder for the day.
Ponder over yonder. Really? Are you guys going to ponder on such a lovely day?
This was Luca's chance to sell his alibi.
You know, big stuff, small stuff, medium, mostly medium
Nailed
pondering.
it.
Make sure you don't overburden yourself with a preponderance of pondering. Forget it, off you go.
Impressive. You've managed to navigate your first turning point without too much of a mess. That is the power of charms. A single word can change everything. I think it's time to introduce you to the Chronicle. The Chronicle is a record of the decisions you've made. You can see the turning point which has been revealed. At any time, you can use the Chronicle to go back and invoke different charms, creating new branches. Luckily for us, this is the one and only turning point where the charms won't dramatically alter fate. It's the perfect opportunity to experiment with rewriting things.
The grudge.
for the day. The best lies are built on truth.
You boys are always in a hurry to do nothing. We stick to what we're good at. Make sure you're done chilling in time for supper.
Easy.
I love how she shoos me with a mad walking stick as well. Look ah! You in roll a state of trouble? I know. Objective updated, get in trouble with roll. Log. Come on. Woo! Dang it, Rollo. Like he has like a little internal engine just
The
gonna.
road leading to Beacon Pines was long and uninspiring. A sort of natural barrier for the impatient. For a town that saw few visitors, the welcome was perhaps more grand than necessary.
You know the drill. Don't let anyone discover our secret path.
Chapter 2. Welcome to Beacon Pines.
Bacon!
For many years, this valley had been a small mining outpost. It wasn't until Sharper Valentine built his fertilizer company that Beacon Pines was established. Over the next 30 years, the town had grown and prospered until the foul harvest and his sudden death. In the 6 years since, everyone was simply trying to get by.
Aye, man. Hello, Mr. Kerr. Hey there, pal.
William Kerr was the CEO of Perennial Harvest Company. He had become a fixture around town over the past few years. After the failing of Valentine Fertilizer, the town was hungry to welcome a new source of employment.
Excited for the big festival? Sure. Come on now, when I was your age, there was nothing more exciting than a town festival. Food, music, dancing. Sounds pretty alright. Gosh dang right it is. Looking forward to letting off some steam myself. Make sure to invite all your little friends. Couldn't keep Rollo away if I tried. Excellent. Gotta get back to the proverbial blah. I pressed the button too fast, sorry. Our harvest awaits and all that. Ho now! Left side's a little low. Hey. Put my horn up your butt. This man is a dog. Sorry, Van Horn can't talk just now. Very busy with preparations.
Mayor Augustus Valentine was not busy.
Ah, sorry, Gus. How many times do I? It's Mayor
Flustered, Gus instinctively loosened his tie.
Keep up the good work. You must briefly attend to a concerned citizen. Huh? Yes, nothing. Alright, what can the Mayor of Beacon Pines do for you today? Just saying hi. Well, good day to you too, young Mr. Van Horn. Oh. We've been zooming. Why are we zooming? What's happened? It's just a place to chill. Okay. Right, you want to see like the best NPC in a video game ever? Now, as I've seen the entirety of this game, there would be no secrets to me. I love this dude. He is the I am not going to move for anyone. You will suffer my presence, not the other way around kind of fucker. Mr. Sinclair!
Mr. Sinclair continued snoring and lifted one eyelid just enough to see who it was, a tactic he often used to avoid undesirable conversation.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Sinclair! I'll just see him sleeping, boy. How's the napping today? Crummy as always. He's the perfectly nice view from here, till Perennial Harvest put that monstrosity of a building in the way. Why don't you just move your chair a bit? Why should I be the one that moves? If it's a showdown they want, I ain't gonna be the one who blinks. There you go. Total fuck you energy. Bunny! Come on, Andy, grab his wallet. Sorry, I can't. Do it or we'll pound you. Yep. Yeah, but my mum said, yeah. I had a nickel for every yeah, but. Be a freaking king of nickels. Isn't that right, Tish? Yep. Oh, Lauren. Mr. Van Horn, do you have a moment? It's just Luca. Golly, I'm sorry, it's my first week at
He pulled
perennial
a pen
harvest.
from the pocket of his sweater vest and began to frantically jot something down on a clipboard.
Wonderful, it won't happen again. Going to be on a first name basis, and you can call me Pete. Oh, nice to meet you, Pete. Sorry, what you writing? Just document. Gosh, it's exciting to be part of something so darn special. You know, it's not just about new fountains and phone booths. We're going to change the world. And that starts here in Beacon Pines. Isn't that amazing? Uh-huh. I better get... Oh, that reminds me. Would love to hear your thoughts. My thoughts? You bet. And I don't even want to fucking hear my thoughts. It's just screaming in the empty void. Fucking furry agenda. Well... We're going any different. We're going to need every detail right. That sounds intense. Ha ha ha. Just like sex while camping. It's fucking intense. Answer a few questions. I guess it was quick. Wonderful! Open to answering a few quick questions. One down. See, it's not that hard, is it? Okay, we're going already. Question 2. Something you love about Beacon Pines. Never really thought about it. Perfect. The place I've lived.
Pete stopped scribbling and glanced up from the clipboard.
Was it? It's not. What's that? Our first 3 questions answered in record time. We're literally writing down everything. Thank you so much for your time to process these answers. You can have the rest thoughts for later. Save the rest of your thoughts for later. Oh, Mr. Waits. Those guys are a cult. Alright, okay. Trash? No trash. I'm yawning. Hi, Jetson. Is the line playing any tunes today? No bites this morning, I'm afraid. Come to think of it, I can't remember the last time I reeled one in. But hey, it was never about the catch. This is what I come to think. Yeah, that's how my dad used to do here. That reminds me. If you ever want his chair back, I've taken to standing recently, keeps me from falling asleep at the reel. If you don't mind, I think I should stay. Not at all. And the chair makes for a great listener. Itchy leg, itchy leg. Mission control, authorized personnel only.
The boys had a good thing going. As long as they kept old Jeff happy, they had an endless source of precious materials to add to the treehouse.
You wait for me. We go at my pace, boy.
After Luca's father had passed, Rollo became obsessed with them building their own Hank atomic star scraper. It was some time before Luca realized it was Rollo's way of keeping him occupied. On certain nights, when the clouds were just right, the boys could tune into strange patterns of static. Rollo thinks it's aliens. He always thinks it's aliens. Luca's winter coat decommissioned for the summer. With the cold holding out longer than usual, he reconsidered its usefulness. Luca looked up at the satellite dish. Rollo nearly killed himself putting that up into the tree. While it didn't turn the radio into an interstellar communicator, as he'd hoped, it did at least boost the signal enough to overhear truckers one town over.
Very industrious young lads. Okay, what's his top secret plan to start our summer? So you know the abandoned warehouse by my place? The old Valentine building? Yeah, well it isn't abandoned. What makes you think that? Get this. Last night, it was glowing. Glowing? Are you sure? Kinda. The place has been empty since full harvest. Yeah. We'd even want to poke around that place. We would, Rollo. We would. Look at that smug little asshole. Wait. It's just a busted old warehouse. I just mean we could do some research at the library. You want to actually go to the warehouse? What do you expect to find? Answers. My mum's out there somewhere. Seems like everyone wants to pretend that she's gone for good. You don't have to come roll if you don't want to. Luca, remember that time I sort of accidentally burned down a chicken coop? And you jumped in and said it was your fault before my pa throttled me? This is a flaming chicken coop sort of deal. I got your back. Thanks, Roll. Now that I think about it, poking around a decrepit fertilised warehouse is exactly how I want to spend the first day of summer. Let's go! And he fell out of the treehouse and broke his shins, and that was the rest of the story.
Whenever Luca saw his dad's chair by the pond, it reminded him of the days they'd pack up a couple of sandwiches and fish until sundown.
I have crunchy knuckles, but they're not crunching. Go pick out your bait from the tackle box, buckaroo. Aye.
Luca opened the tackle box and picked the perfect bait. Luca gently baited a feather onto the hook, good for skimming the surface.
I see. I got a duck. Well, I'll be switched. It's your old rubber ducky. You were just a little drooling ball of fur when you lost that. Cried for days. Told you it'd turn up. Heh.
Luca tied a shoestring to the hook. What fish could resist a nice shoestring?
He doesn't have bedroom eyes. He's just smug as fuck. I got a boot! Where do you think the other one is? Hard to say. Sometimes things drift away. That's not fair. No, it's not. Well, whatever it is, probably still the boat. I hope that other boot at least has a sock to keep it company.
Luca tied a small magnet to the line, fishing with the law of attraction.
Lauren, do me a favour. Go to wherever Cameron is and slap him for me. Thanks. Where do you think the lock is for this key? Now, why would you want to find that? Because then we would know the secret. It's no fun. Second we know where it unlocks, it becomes a boring old key. Right now, this key could unlock anything. Cool. That's... no. Okay, whatever. Sure. Brain. 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 There. Catch my breath, but go on, I'll catch up. Key to unlocking childhood trauma. It's funny you say that because they're in their childhood and this story is pretty fucking traumatic for them. Hey, Miss Nelson, morning Luca. Any plans for the summer? Nah. Heard anything about the old fertilizer warehouse? Any strange happenings? Can't say I have. Either way, a dusty old warehouse is no place for a young boy. You be safe now. No. Jumps off cliff. Bird! Piper? Look, what's up? You know it's some break, right? Yeah? And it's like the morning? Correct. And you're studying? Like they say, the early bird gets proper education required for a successful and fulfilling career later in life. Zariel. Hiya, Luca. Please tell that... Apparently my chair decided to roll back. Whew. Oh, that was exciting. Just sit cross-legged now, shall I? Please tell this lazy butt to help out in the cafe. Let me, Zariel would like you. Luca, let me give you a gem of advice. If you never do... Sorry. If you never do what you don't love, then you'll never work a day in your life. What? Wow. Really setting the kid up for success. I don't know if I've read that right, but my brain just refused to cooperate with me there.
Miss Hatch could often be found near the fountain, too absorbed in a book to be distracted.
The two wander down the wooden path unaware of the danger ahead. Ooh. Ooh, it's getting good. Bananas. No touching. Smack! I got the achievement, play that funky music. Hey, Griffin. How's the ice cream gig going? Not great. Still pretty cold out. I'm in the business of selling cold. I'm sure things will warm up soon. Mr. Tulliver's not at his grocery stand. He's prepping for the festival, I guess. Gotcha. He was the one that was hanging up the sign. Hey, Bert. Oh no, he's there. But see, why am I pointing at the screen? You can't see. See the dude that's up the ladder? That's the dude that should be running the front stand. Did some fact checking about the town history exhibit. Look, kid, I'm just here to put up the lights. But did you know the town was founded? When the town was founded, there were only 7 citizens. They all worked for a mining company. There was only one dirt road leading to town, and there still is only one road leading to town. Alright. Asian Shad Fade. Asian Shad Fade.
Holden Wilder ran the local paper of record, the Beacon.
Bacon. Honor, Luca. What's the day have in store for you? Wonder if you had any news about... News! The Beacon knows the news that needs knowing. Any news about the old fertilizer warehouse? Nope. Oh. Rollo thought he saw some lights there last night. Rollo, I'd be careful poking around that part of town. Winds of change are blowing. And change is a dangerous animal. Right. You're going to have to forgive my reaction, but this is genuinely the cutest fucking NPC I've ever seen. Hey, Dawn! Sorry to wake you. You tiny wee bat. No problem, it just comes with a job.
Dreams of becoming a big-time reporter. At night, she searched for the story that could be her big break. By day, she hawked papers at the newsstand.
What's up? Rolly said he saw something strange going on at the warehouse. Know anything about that? Might say I heard some things. Working on a story about it right now. So what's going on? Can't say quite yet. Still need to follow up on a few leads. Keep me in the loop. Sure thing. Things seem quiet in the town today. Everyone's preparing for the festival. Should be back to normal tomorrow. Catch you then. Catch you then. Oh, and look, really sorry I haven't been able to find out anything about your mom yet. I'm grateful you tried. Still keeping my ears up. Sorry, it's absolutely adorable. I guess Miss Fratelli's getting ready for the festival. Ooh. Oh, no. Dang it! I need to go to the bloody library first. Oh well, my bad. Look, just the fella I was looking for. Hey, Roxy,
Right.
what's up?
Rendezvous with Roxy. This is an important turning point. The first time where your charms will change the course of fate. And currently, we only have one suitable charm in our Have no fear, we can always return later using the Chronicle once we find more charms. Well, now I'm just rambling. Where were we?
Have you seen my blockhead brother today? He skipped out before breakfast. Well, not really, no. Can't say I have. Can't say or won't say. Roxy, would I lie to you? Yes. Look out, way up, I almost forgot to tell you, Rox might be lurking around here. This is one of her favourite places to stand around and be useless. Rollo. Need to make sure she doesn't spot us. Rollo. Why are you doing that turning thing with your body? You're not scared, are you? She's harmless. And a chump. And right around that corner, isn't she? Don't mind me, just over here lurking uselessly. Oh, hey, sis. Nice weather we're having, eh? I couldn't help but notice she snuck out this morning before breakfast. Wasn't hungry. Couldn't help but notice your morning chores were left unchored. Roxy, I'm gonna live with you. I'm sick and tired of digging up carrots. We all gotta pick up the slack since the full harvest. Almost every carrot I dig up is rotten. And the rest look like they were hit with Hank Atomic's shrinkery. All the more reason to keep on digging. It's gotta be more of the life than... I nearly said pussy carrots. Puny carrots. Look, Roxy, Luke and I have places to be, so if you don't mind... Oh, I do mind. I'm not going to catch hell again because of you. So either march yourself home and harvest those carrots, or I'll haul you home myself.
Rolo froze as Roxy took a step toward him, cracking her knuckles. Luca knew he had one chance to save his friend from being dragged home.
In the past, I found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was a little chill.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little chill.
Come on, Roxy. It's the first day of summer, the sun's shining, we just want to take it easy. Let's leave tomorrow's problems for tomorrow. That's great and all, but Rolo's problems have a way of becoming my problems. And Pa always says, tomorrow's work is best left for yesterday. What? March, you big oaf! Oh, rats. Expect a full report up at the Valentine place. Full report! So, Fitz, what are you up to this lovely day? Nope. Cool. Last chance date. Ah, no, wait, the town hall isn't they were wanted to go to the library. Sharper Valentine, founder of Beacon Pines. Never underestimate a great man can do, given time.
A bit much, if you ask me.
Indulgence. Speaking of indulging... Hey, Solomon. Apologies, no time for chit-chat. What a douche. Looks like the library hasn't opened yet. I'll check back later. I shouldn't have drank that just now. I need to go pee quickly. Sorry, 2 minutes. Get back here, you bastard! Ugh. There is a rave happening in my chat. Watch out! Sorry. All that movement kind of burped me. Anyway, you there, doggy. Look at my boar, hold up a tick. Hi, Mr. Duncreed. Just on my way to. But you're so
last jar of your grandmother's preserves. Can't stock the shelves fast enough, turns out.
Hey, that's great, but actually I
guess Juniper will just have to swing by with more of her lovely jam.
Uh-huh.
Don't let this old man slow you down. You just remind her that she still owes me that dance.
A promise Gran regretted the second it was made.
Will do. She's a fine woman, that Juniper.
Pretty cool, I guess.
Real fine woman.
Gotta go. Yuck. No, we don't call this one a buffer. He's not a buffer's a reserve for good.
Brand new.
He's not a good.
Part of Perennial Harvest's
He's
Beacon
a creep.
Pines Reborn initiative. It didn't see much use.
Show me where you're best from.
How's the bug hunt going? Not great. Bugs have been shy this week.
Bugs get shy.
Oh, sure. Bugs aren't that different from people. Sometimes they just want to be left alone. If you're going into Weep Wood, just be careful where you step. No bug crunching. Got it. Like a beehive.
Luca peeked up at the beehive. It appeared to be deserted.
That's strange. Nation shut feed.
After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town.
That's so we didn't murder them.
The Valentine mansion loomed over every other building in town,
I want chocolate.
both figuratively and literally.
I was hoping I would have went longer so I could have opened this without interruption. Maybe I should have only taken one piece. Instead of half of the bar. Like a frickin' pig that I am.
The path led into a small hollow at the edge of Weepwood.
What? Okay, no turning back now. Caution, electric fence. Lick it! Is that sign
The
now?
fence
Lick it!
thrummed with a gentle electric buzz.
Nacho cheeseburgers from McDonald's are amazing. Well, rub it in. Sorry, something in my teeth. I had the worst pot noodle ever for dinner. It was chow mein flavoured. It was like bland but a bad. I don't mind kind of plain tasting food. That just kind of tasted like something that was bland that got left to go stale. That's what it tasted like. It's blah.
Luca often asked himself what Rolo would do, so that he could rule out that option.
Definitely not touching that thing. That's why I said you should lick it.
As sparks flew from the fence, the light atop that section shut off. 2 bulbs remained. One more
That's
to
2.
go. The fence's buzzing gave way to silence.
Moment of truth.
Every kid in town knew the old Valentine fertilizer building. Long abandoned, the warehouse once served as the industrial heart of Beacon Pines.
It's the shit house.
Now, it stood only as a reminder of things left behind. The dormant building showed strange signs of life.
So Rolo wasn't exaggerating for once. What's going on here?
Only one way to find out.
Wow, that smells awful. Too bad Rolo's not here. He'd have no problem poking around in here.
The hose hose emitted a subtle sound. It was actively draining some kind of liquid.
Liquid.
Luca
Lock
thought
it
he
up.
heard faint sounds coming from the other side of the door. He pressed his ear against the cold metal to hear better.
A zipper?
The
Footsteps?
sound of footsteps grew louder.
Hello?
Shit.
The heavy steel door knocked Luca to the ground. Disoriented, he looked up to see an imposing figure silhouetted in a green glow. It lunged toward him. He tried to scramble away, but felt a gloved hand latch onto his ankle. Luca watched his fingernails leave trails in the dirt as the hand slowly dragged him back through the door, into the lab, into the green light. This is a story about change. It was far from the sort of change Luca imagined for himself, but change is, after all, a dangerous animal. The end? I probably should have warned you about this.
I died!
There are many paths that our story can take. Most will end in tragedy. But don't let that discourage you. We will find the ending that this story deserves. I just know it. From here on out, a charm will have a check mark when it's been used to its full potential at a given turning point. Now, let's try something different. In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little shit.
Sorry, just something flew into my face and it freaked me out. Blah! Make a break for it! What have you done? Ah! Did that little shit just kick me? I know you went to little twerps. Gotta come home eventually. Watch where you going. Sorry about that. Really can get overexcited
Solomon
sometimes.
Valentine, current ward of and future successor to the Valentine fortune, huffed as he brushed off his pants.
They're no complete and utter fools. One wonder if it's worth taking anything here seriously. Either way, I'm sorry. No matter. How are you doing? Me? Yes, well, business about your mother and whatnot. Oh, getting by. Still no word from her at all? No. That's truly a shame. Your grandmother has taken residence. Your grandmother has taken residence to keep house? Yeah. And how's that going? Mostly stay out of each other's way. You make it sound as if she's rarely at home. It's not like that. She just has a lot to do. She's still sitting in trying to figure out how to make ends meet. Indeed. Count your blessings. Better to have a caretaker who's rarely around in lieu of one who tries to compensate by smothering you with attention. That doesn't sound so bad. Trust me when I say it's best to rely on yourself. Family's way of creating more problems than they solve.
Solomon trifled a gesture toward the approaching heiress Valentine.
Speak of the devil. Don't wander off like that. I'm much too busy to be looking all over for you. Apologies, heiress. I was just talking. I was taking a stroll through town. Strolls are for commoners. You're a Valentine now. Going to be present for the construction of the History Museum, which this town relies on its ability to remember our family's good past. Of course. Drugs. Drugs. Look at my boy, hold up a tick. Sorry, Miss Duncreed, kinda in a hurry. Boyd's got too much of his father on him. I win! That'll help. I am the champion! We were racing? Did that road get longer? Like anything ever changes around here. It seemed longer. You're just lightheaded from the run. You'll need to pace yourself better next time. Not sure why I would take advice from second place. Has that sign always been there? Wait, what? Caution, electrified fence, like it! Nope, that's definitely new. Creepy. Are we going to get around an electric fence? Don't worry, I've got this. Why'd you do that? It always says, figure out what the plan is when you're done. Great, what now? I did my part and established that touching the fence is bad. Sure you can handle it from here. I'll supervise. From a safe distance. Log. Property of Valentine Fertilizer Company. It's old. Do you throw again? Right. Whoa, you're a genius. It's almost like I've done this before. I think that did it. Okay, you never fail to impress.
As the glowing windows of the old warehouse came into view, Rollo began to bounce excitedly.
Check it out. Dang, Rollo, you weren't exaggerating for once. Was there ever any doubt? This definitely needs investigating. Good thing two ace detectives are on the case. This is bizarre. This is awesome. A rumble. Did you feel that? What, the excitement in the air? You bet your butt I did. Check out this puddle. That's not normal. And this hose. Ah man, door's locked. Try harder. No dice, hit one to punch. Oh well. This dumpster is new, right? But it's got stuff in it. Can't really see what's in here. Who did all this? My nose is itching. I think I smell some treasure. Sure that isn't hazardous waste. Just have a guess. Rollo, it'd be my honour to throw you in the trash. Come on, lady luck. What's in there? Let's see. With a squishy bag of squish. Wow. A good inch of stagnant sludge. Your natural habitat. Wait, hold the phone. Hold two phones. Check these bad boys out. Are those walkie-talkies? Just like Hank atomic communicators. These actually work. Ground command to Hank Atomic, do you read? What was that? Someone's coming. Give me your hand. I'm trying. My hands are covered in squish. Scoot over. I'm coming in. Tell me you saw that. Dude, I don't know what I saw. It's coming back. Get down!
The boy sat petrified under the weight of the bag.
God, tell me that's not what I think it is. Do you know what separates run-of-the-mill detectives from ace detectives? A ridiculous hat. With chips down, ace detectives think deeper for
Rollo
clothes.
felt around at the large sack which burdened them.
Aha.
He snapped off a tag from just within a small zipper opening in the bag.
Some sort of badge or something. What does it say?
Held the badge up to a faint shaft of light within the dumpster.
Dr. Prescott, Deep Engineering. It's a name tag. Who would throw away a bag full of slimy old name tags? It's just one name tag and a bag full of something else. Okay. I think we should make a break. Stay calm. It's no time to panic. I'm not panicking! You're panicking! Roll, calm down. You don't have to squeeze my hand so hard. Dude, I'm not holding your hand. I'm messing around. What other slime-covered hand would be here? Begin to see the benefits of your Run for Our Lives plan. We'll establish that I'm faster than you, so I'll go first. I'll go together. Flaming chicken coop. Make sure the coast is clear. After I go, count to 100. If you hear me yell, run. If you don't hear me yell, run. Actually, by the way, haul ass. Rolo, I'll give you credit. You sure found an eventful way to start our summer. Bruh, you just found a corpse. I'd be a little less smug and a little more upset.
Lucas sat in the dark, tracking the sound of Rollo's footsteps as he ran. 1, 2, 3. He pressed his ear to the dumpster wall, straining to hear Rollo's footsteps as they faded away. 15, 16, 17. He tried not to think about the contents of the dumpster as he counted. 35, 36, 37. The thick stench made it hard to breathe. Screw it, that's long enough. Luca carefully lifted the lid. Nothing. No sign of Rollo. No sign of the man in the yellow suit. Time to haul ass. Luca clambered from the dumpster, stumbling to his knees. He was up like a shot and running, sprinting toward home as fast as he could. Beacon Pines flew by, blurred by the tears that welled up in his eyes. He wouldn't remember getting home at all that night. Throwing his front door open, storming up the stairs to his room, and surrendering to sleep almost as abruptly as he hit his pillow. Chapter 3. Finding of the next morning, it was quieter than usual at the breakfast table. Only the sound of silverware and chewing interrupted the awkward silence.
Finished jarring a mess of jam last night. So I need that delivered into town today. Okay. What you and Rolla got up to yesterday? Nothing interesting. Hello. Calm down. No, of course it's the right thing to do. Stark Ireland, folks, I'll be right there. Sure there isn't anything you want to tell me about yesterday? Anything I want to tell you? Not really. We just sort of ran around a bit.
Rand's brow furrowed. She let out a long sigh. Her voice was quiet and even.
I have to go take care of something. You're to stay in this house for the day. Under no circumstances are you to leave. What? If I'm not back by dinner, there's stew in the icebox. But lots are for pipping. You're to stay here, understand? Yeah. Say it. I'll stay here until you get back. Good. Oh, and look, you left the icebox open yesterday. We're not made of money, you know. I give me an achievement, born in a barn. Wonder if I got an achievement just for wrecking the shop. Skewed. I like that.
An eerie electronic sound echoed from Luca's bedroom.
Oh wow. Is anyone there? What I'm concerned about is he's still wearing the same fucking clothes. That he was in a dump full of corpses and all sorts. Hello? Rollo, is that you? Over? Strange.
Luca glanced at the now silent walkie-talkie. He wasn't sure what to think. He wasn't sure.
Hey, Roxy. Does that make me accidentally kicking you yesterday? Is Rollo here? No. Look at me, Luca. This is serious. Is Rollo here? No, I haven't seen him since yesterday. Rollo didn't come home last night. What?
A pit formed in Luca's stomach.
Where was the last place you saw him? We were playing around, Weep Wood, and it was late night and we went home. Weep the Wood. If he's alive, I'm going to kill that little creep. Is there anything else? Anything that he
Luca's
said?
mouth felt dry.
No, we're just messing around. Okay. Need to go let people to know to check the woods. Yep. You'd think you would say you found a corpse. There was literally a dead hand holding his hand. You stay out of trouble. Go see if he's hiding in the library or something.
Luca could feel his heart beating in his throat.
Rolo. Where are you? Don't know why I said that in my Phasmo voice. Where are you? Are you here? Hey, Bert. Seen Rolo? Nope. Mostly been talking to clipboards. They're setting up lots of stuff for the festival. When said he had to process some answers. I told him that was fine. I'll wait right here until he gets back. Seen Rolo come by any chance? Free not. Unless there was a fish in this here pond. Numfoot, 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 numfoot. Oh, I'm too old.
Luca stuck a toy stretchy hand onto the hook. Those things always get dirty anyway.
Should we give it to Mum? She likes jewellery. That's a sweet thought, Buckaroo. Not sure she'd fully appreciate a pond bracelet. Well, why the hell not? Tell you why she's a coward. Because we could use some new bait. What'd you say we head out and find some more? Wait, that. See what I mean with this dude? He's just still sitting there. People have just piled junk around him. Howdy, Luca. Hello again, Pete. I'm not Pete, you silly goose. It's Toby. Could have fooled me. Hey, it's no problemo. Important thing is, love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'm getting that impression. We're all part of something special, Luca. And it all starts right here in Beacon Pines.
Toby
I
looked
got
up
it.
from the clipboard excitedly.
That's right. How about you start by telling me, no offense, I've got my own stuff to take care of. Ah, you joker. We're all part of this together. You let us know when you're free to answer a few questions. Never. Really need to go back to work. A couple more minutes. Roxy said she'll be here, then she will be here. Just don't see why I'm standing around, doing nothing, and waiting for Roxy. We're not going to be standing around, doing nothing, and getting paid for it. Come on, Louie. Rox needs our help. Parents wouldn't listen. No offense, but isn't Rolo always getting into trouble? Something feels different this time. What can we do to help? Need to check where the adults aren't. Guess we get to check Weep Wood. Our shift doesn't end for a couple of hours. Could spend the time making posters. That would be great, I guess. Right, Fitz and I will check Weep Wood. We'll be back later to pick up the posters. I think my dad has a map of Weep Wood. Let me swing by my house and grab it before we head out. No. Deal with them. Tiny bat friend! Hey, Don! Oh, don't say that, it makes me yawn. I need caffeine. Ouch. Really hard to open a can with no fingernail. Is it true about Rollo? Yeah, he didn't come home last night. Wonder if it's connected. Connected to what? I was checking on reports about increased activity around town. What sort of activity? Windowless trucks, mechanical noises, strange lights. Your typical shady stuff. I need his help. Who would be doing all that and why? Well, I have a few leads. The Valentine family is always suspicious. Perennial Harvest certainly has the resources. Any idea where Rollo could be? Best place to start looking is where the trail went cold. Where did you see him last? Sorry. We were in Weepwood, right by the Valentine's fertilizer. I check Weepwood when my shift ends. Do my best work at night. That's because you is a bat. Hello? Was this about a missing child? I must stress the situation is completely under control. Oh, it just seems so terrible. You sure there's nothing we can do to help? Nonsense, young Mr. Cotter will turn up safe and sound, I am certain. You just focus on settling in. I trust my sister has supplied you with suitable lodging. Oh yes, Miss Valentine has been more than accommodating. You were just telling your daughter Beck that... Now where'd she run off to? His eyes went wide in disbelief. What do you mean vanished? That's impossible. Oh my. He doesn't even see the danger he is in. Itchy nose. Hi Luca, what's up? Haven't seen Rollo around recently, have you? He doesn't come around here much. Not since they made the rule. He can only order decaf. Where have I not explored? Don't we? Hey, Elson. History Museum. It's laughable, really. You see Rollo in there? No, just a shadow of a family, clinging on to a town, clinging on to the past. Cling! Feel free to check yourself. Don't expect you to have your mind blown. Cake. I want to slap the melon. Jiggle the melon. Hey. Griffin, has Rollo been by? Haven't seen him all day. I'm sure he'll show up safe and sound. And when he does, tell him there's a strawberry chocolate double scoop waiting for him. On the house. He'll like that. Oh, this is so warm, man. Sharper Valentine, a celebration of excellence.
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What you may not know is great towns grow from mighty roots. And that is why you cannot tell the story of Beacon Pines without telling the story of...
That was flat as fuck.
Young Sharper's keen intellect and strong moral fiber led to a grand vision. A vision of a community dedicated to a better tomorrow. In his own words, a better tomorrow is within our grasp, but it requires a singular mind to harness it. Lucky for us, he decided to grow that vision here in Beacon Pines. And how does one grow a better tomorrow? With fertilizer, of course. Valentine's Fertilizer Company became the lifeblood of a town yearning for purpose. But then tragedy struck. A scientific experiment gone wrong. An accident which took Sharper away from us far too soon. To this day, we struggle to pick up the pieces. But one foul harvest isn't enough to stop the people of Beacon Pines. The spirit of Sharper Valentine lives on. It lives in the hearts of everyone with a dream for a better tomorrow. Together, we will follow his example and grow a bountiful future. Paid for by the Valentine family and the Valentine Fertilizer Company Remembrance Fund.
Now, wasn't that informative? That was unhelpful. Oops.
Jeff's hardware closed down about a year ago. The effects of the foul harvest stretched wide. When there are no crops in the field, tractors don't need fixing.
The library's my objective. I'll stop fucking around.
Oh, the cobs I've eaten. A salad-centric travel guide for the mildly adventurous.
Yuck. I'm gonna speak to the people. Hey, Jess. Hey, Luca. Rolo come by? No. I was actually surprised. He's usually here on days where the new issue drops. Rolo's the biggest Hank Atomic fan I know. Besides myself, that is. Well, if he does swing by, tell him to meet me, you know where. I don't know where. No, he knows where. Roger that, Space Cadet.
Kato volunteered at the library during the summers. He wasn't very social, so he'd dedicate each summer to becoming an expert in a single subject, making him a reliable source of very particular knowledge. If you were to ask Kato something he didn't know, he'd escape into the dusty old bookshelves and return with just the right thing.
Hey, Kato.
Kato was lost in his reading. Luca crooked his neck to see the title, Introduction to Melitology.
Ham. Hey, Luca, you snuck up on me. Good book? Dunno, just started it.
He gestured to the shelves.
I'm really running out of books I haven't read yet. So now it's on to the wonderful world of bees. Turns out, bees are pretty cool. For instance, did you know around 70% of bee species actually live in underground tunnels? Or if that there are two queens in a hive, they will fight to the death for the last slice of pizza? That's interesting, but you haven't seen Roller around recently, have you? Not since yesterday. Keep an eye out for him, okay? Sure thing. If you see him, you'll be the first to know. Well, some monster puts candy behind a locked door. Oh yeah, Mr. Duncreed works weird hours sometimes. Of course he does. How about you? When do I work? No, what's your name? Luca Van Horn. You know here? Yep. Not by
Beck's
choice.
family moved often, giving her little time to establish any real connections. She would tell you she prefers it that way.
Looking for my friend Rolo. He didn't come home last night. So he's missing? I guess so. Like, missing. Does that sort of thing happen a lot around here?
Luca shifted his feet uncomfortably.
Well, that sucks. Yeah. Should probably get going. Wait up.
Beck pulled a coin from her pocket.
I'm coming with you. What? So says the unlucky penny. Unlucky? Yep, well, technically it landed on heads. Leave this kid to find his friend alone. But they always do the opposite. So that's kind of like me and Rolo. I guess Rolo is my unlucky penny. That settles it. A person should never be without their unlucky penny. Let's go find them. Name's Beck. Pleasure to meet you, Beck. Suppose I could use some help. Try to keep up. Joey, have you seen Rolo around? Nah, sorry, Luca. Had my eyes on the dirt looking for beetles. Can't seem to find any. He never came home last night. It's because it's been colder than normal? I don't see why that would have anything to do with Rolo. No, the beetles. I think the temperature confused the circadian rhythm or something. Who's to say? I'm no beetologist. Keep an eye out for him, would you? Of course.
Luca peeked up at the beehive. It appeared to be deserted. The Valentine mansion both figured.
Is it really a video game if you're not jumping everywhere? Dang, they boarded up the way in.
Luca felt a chill as he approached Beck. Her eyes were locked on the strange green liquid. The nearby grass was coated in a fine layer of froth.
This sort of thing normal around here? There's puddles of glowing ooze that are definitely not what I expect from this place. I have no idea what this stuff is. Well, the next obvious step is science! What does science suggest? Poke her with a stick! Damn right it is.
Luca watched as Beck dipped a broken tree branch into the goo. Beck's eyes widened as flowers grew from the first small buds, which quickly bloomed into vibrant petals.
Oh, what the?
As
Cool.
quickly as they had grown, the flowers began to shrivel and turn gray. Beck dropped the stick with a grunt of disgust.
Okay. So science tells us this gunk is weird as hell. Yeah, seems dangerous. Hey Tish, look where the cat dragged in. Yup. Don't have time for this right now, Aggie. Oh, don't say things like that. That hurts Tish's feelings. Isn't that right, Tish? Yup. Looks fine to me. Hello, I don't think we've been properly introduced. Iggy's the name. This is my compatriot, Tish. Yup. Probably heard of us. Can't say I have. I forgive this once, account you being new around here. Why would you hang out with this dud? Seems pretty alright. Why'd you have to be so... you? Has he even told you his parents skipped out on him? Shut up. It's true, I got tired of having such a pathetic kid and left him. I'm going to say this one time. Don't talk about my family. Look who's grew a backbone now. Look who's grown a backbone now that a girl's around. First his pops croaked, then his mum finally couldn't take it anymore and bounced.
Iggy took a step towards Luca, his sneer lit by the glowing puddle. Beck could see tears welling in Luca's eyes, his fists clenched. Some things about Beacon Pines were very different from the city. But a bully from a hayseed town is really no different from a city bully. Beck took a deep breath and thought.
Time to bust out the tickles or the strange. Chat. There's somebody there. Are we tickling them or are we stranging them? Okay, we've got one for a tickle. We've got two for a tickle. Okay, we're going for a tickle then. There's the majority of the audience that's active saying tickle.
Well, time to bust out the tickles.
Hey Tish, wanna see something cool? Yup. Check it.
Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under Tish's arm.
What the? Tish, is she tickling you? Yup. Yup. Yup.
Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she gasped for breath between gales of laughter.
Yup, yup, yup.
Beck redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had...
What just happened? She seems nice. Sorry for the interruption. I think you were just threatening us.
He started around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered.
I just remembered I have somewhere to be.
Iggy
See you around,
kicked
new kid.
the puddle before making his escape.
Whoa! What a little creep. Beck, I think you got a little ooze in your
Beck
hair.
shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could.
Is it bad? Depends. What are your feelings about having a more mature, refined look? Oh god.
Chapter 4.
You know, chat, you caused this.
The best policy. Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess. Hopefully he could make it up to her. But finding Rollo was his primary concern.
Zoom. Look out, what the hell are you doing out here? Why did a kid with grey hair just run past us in a
Foxy
panic?
and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
That's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? We were just helping look for Rollo. Look, I need you to start telling me the
Foxy's
truth.
temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling, but this was the most intense Luca had ever seen. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of time.
Torrent of rambled words and tears. Luca broke down.
Rollo and I weren't just playing in Wheatwood yesterday. We were investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse. Someone was in there in a strange suit. We hid in the dumpster, and his heavy bag and had a heavy bag dropped on us. And I think it was a body. So we ran, but we got split up. And then I ran home. And it's all my fault. Now my best friend would never come back. Wow. Just wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
It's not your fault, Luca. Lola's going to be okay.
Drew
I promise.
herself up.
I'm going to fix this. Luca, go home. But I want your help. Too dangerous for a kid. Just can't sit around
Roxy
after do
tried to think
something.
of the safest place to send Luca.
You go back to the little tree house you like to play in. Wait there in case Rolo shows up. Sound like a plan?
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. You really believe the story? What other option do we have? Things have been strange around here leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird recently. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies. Skippity skip. Skip. Oh dear, how sad, never mind. Believe it or not, that's actually the least worst scenario you've picked.
Mr. Nuncreed jumped with a start.
Whoa, don't sneak on an old fella like that. Sorry. Who are you talking to? What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh no, I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. Damn thing never does, of course. Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, really. Whole thing's a waste of money if you ask me. Any word from Rolo? Not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rolo knows these woods too well to get lost. I suppose you're right. Tell the boy's antics if the whole town were worried sick. Antics? You know Rolo likes to play his little pranks. You think this is a prank? What other possible explanation could there be? He's not playing a prank and he didn't get lost. Someone took him. I know it. How would you know that? Unless... There's something that you know.
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Dang it, boy. There's something you know. Something that could help your friend. You need to tell folks.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him. There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rolo, maybe he could help.
Yesterday, Rolo and I were messing around the old Valentine
Mr.
warehouse.
Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you? You were with Rolo when he went missing? Not exactly. I was hiding in a dumpster. The dumpster? What were you doing in there? First we were just looking around, and someone in a strange yellow suit came and dumped something on us. We both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him. You both got scared by some garbage? That's why you don't go skulking in someone's dumpster. It wasn't garbage, I think. I think it was a body. I'm sure it was just trash. No, there was a name tag. It said Deep Engineering.
Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
Deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
Why did you have to? I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you safe.
Attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
You Van Horms just can't help yourself, can you? We were all so close to being done with this.
Firm shove. Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
What are you doing? Out of my hands now.
Shut with a mechanical hiss.
Shit.
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule, plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end. Wait. No.
A bit grim.
This isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
The only one I've got right now is strange.
Well, time to bust out the strange.
Alright, look, looks like you need a little mud bath. What's wrong with you, new kid? You're about to pound your friend.
Dex stared in silence, the only sign of life being the twitch of an eye.
It's weird when people don't talk. Yup. Stop being a weirdo. Well, some kind of wackadoo? Makes sense. Wackadoos travel in packs. Hey, dude.
At the sight of Iggy taunting back, something in Luca snapped. Iggy's smirk shifted to a look of shock as Luca launched himself into his stomach.
Yarg.
Iggy's clothes were drenched in the glowing ooze.
You jerk, my clothes are ruined. I'm gonna...
Iggy's voice began to slur as he struggled to get up.
Oh, feels so good. Huff. Sorry, I just... Oh, shit. Yup. That was intense. Iggy's gonna be okay, right? Nothing about this seems okay.
In the warehouse, this strange ooze and what it did to Iggy. Was Rollo caught up in all of this?
Have to find Rollo. Took the words out of my mouth. Whoa there, little buddies, you startled me. What in the dickens are you up to in this part of town? We were just helping look for Rollo. Oh, you haven't heard the good news? Rollo showed up safe and sound a bit ago. Really? So where is he? It's funny, really. He's got a little turn around in the woods. They can be disorientating, you know. Disorienting, you know? Starting to get that impression. Rollo's at his house now, getting some well-deserved rest. That's a relief. You two should scurry along before you get yourselves lost. Yeah, come on back. Can't wait to introduce you to Rollo. Oh, that reminds me. Your grandmother was looking for you. She was? She was worried sick. You should march straight home. I guess. Beck, your folks might be getting worried too. I'll walk you home. I need to talk to Nellie about
Beck
work anyway.
glanced toward Luca.
All's well that ends well. I'll introduce you to Rollo tomorrow. Sure. Glad he's okay. Sus! Suspicious pasta!
Rollo was safe. A wave of relief washed over Luca, which was quickly replaced by a sense of dread. Gran is going to kill me. If he hurried, he might just make it home before sundown. Chapter 4. Our harvest awaits. Luca took a deep breath and gingerly opened the door, steeling himself for Gran's wrath.
Gran, I'm home. Everything's fine. Gran, why you gotta be so rude? Time to slink. Slink. Oh, come on, that's satisfying, you know it. Gran! I know I wasn't supposed to go anywhere. I was just... I pressed the button too fast, sorry. My lips, they bleed.
A sturdy old wheelbarrow.
Sure is, bud. Roxa came over. She was worried about him. Figured don't mind if I help look for him. Turns out Rollo was safe and sound.
Luca was alone. The house was empty.
So Gran's not back yet. I guess that's a good thing. Nothing to do now but sleep, I guess.
Luca was sitting by the pond, listening to small waves lap against a rock. His father sat in a folding chair in front of him. Without turning, he spoke. "Why don't you grab me some nice bait?" "Sure thing, Dad." Luca hopped over to the tackle box and popped open the lid. Inside was a rolling, buzzing mass. We're fishing with bees? Luca's father gave a warm chuckle. Well, you catch more fish with bees than honey. Pick us out a good one. Luca closed his eyes and plucked out a bee. He could feel its wings struggle between his finger and thumb. Holding it at arm's length, he hurried over. His father deftly baited the hook and examined his work. Interesting choice. With a practiced flick of the wrist, the line buzzed in a graceful arc. The water accepted it without a splash or ripple. The wrong choice. But I respect it. The pond began to freeze over. Sometimes we gotta make the wrong choice before we can make it right. Pallid ice propagated across the still surface with an alarm. Luca scrambled back as the ground beneath him turned cold. Dad, I don't understand. Sorry, kiddo. Understanding isn't always part of the deal. The relentless ice shot through the fishing line toward his father. Dad, look out! His father casually wound the reel. None of it's your fault, you know. Never was. Dad, we have to go! Luca grabbed his father's shoulders, trying to pull him away. Please, you have to run! The ice crackled as it spread across his father's hands. That's the thing about fishing, Luca. His chest began to crystallize. You toss your hook in, and you never know what you're gonna pull out. A shock of searing cold ran up Luca's arms. He gave one last death. The chair tipped backwards in a single frozen mass. Luca tried to stop the momentum, but it was too late. He watched the icy form of his father slam into the hard ground, shattering into 1,000 pieces that crowded around his feet. Dad, I don't understand. What does all this mean? The gentle rustle of leaves was the only reply. Luca's eyes struggled to focus on the walkie-talkie.
Rollo?
Faintly, he could hear Rollo amongst the noise.
Luca! Rollo, is that you? Luca! There? Rollo, it's the middle of the night. Luca, thank God. Listen, I don't know how long this thing will work down here. Down
Rollo's
here?
voice was coming through more clearly now, but some words were still just static.
Listen to me. Someone grabbed me yesterday. A man in a hazmat suit. It was. Took me to some sort of. I think I'm underground. Underground? Are you okay? Kinda. They seem more interested in, for now at least. Mr. Kerr said you made it home safely. Kerr? No. Trust. He's. Someone's
The
coming.
signal went silent. Luca held still, waiting for a response. His pounding heartbeat marking the passage of time.
I think they're gone. Getting worse. Can barely hear you.
Rollo's voice began to fade.
Losing signal. Not much time. Mission control. You need to. The treehouse. The treehouse.
The signal died for good.
Trying to say about the treehouse? What's at the treehouse? The antenna. He wants me to use the antenna in the treehouse to get a better signal. Rollo, you're a
Luca
genius.
grabbed the walkie-talkie and sprinted to the treehouse. Luca heard a group of footsteps approaching. He dashed behind the bushes to avoid being spotted.
Oh. We all understand our roles? You can count on me. Still think we need more time. This wasn't the
Mr.
original
Tower
plan.
paused, shifting his eyes to one side.
We're all in danger now. I, for one, refuse to sit idle. I, for one, refuse to sit idly by while that danger persists. Ram, you just keep your wits about you.
Tolliver took one long, quiet breath.
You're right, you can count on me. Just wish we could have made that deal with Eris Valentine. Her resources could have still come in handy. As I said, I had no time to contact her after your call this morning. Plans change. How's Luca holding up? He's fine. Shouldn't lose sight of the fact that this is all... I know very well what all of this is for. We have no choice. Operation Sparkplug has a new objective. Are we in agreement?
Shared a determined look.
Good. We'll reconvene after the festival. meeting with Mrs. Fratelli and Mr. Tulliver late at night. Hi, Luca! Dawn, you scared me. How long you been there? Just a few minutes. Earlier today I saw Mr. Tulliver and your gran enter the diner together. When my shift at the newsstand was over, he still hadn't left, so I used the greatest tool of any investigative reporter. Time. When they left, I tailed them here. What do you think they're up to? Whatever it is, they seem organised and determined. They mentioned the festival. Yeah, I heard that too. Has your gran been doing anything different recently? Anything strange? She got a phone call this morning and rushed out the door. Go from Haram Tolliver, it seems. She was either furious or terrified, or both. Luca, be careful out there. I think we're in the middle of a scoop of a lifetime. I will. Aren't you coming out? Nah, I'm going to stick out here for a bit longer. See you, Luca. Scoot. I did it. I changed the sign. Splendid. Did anyone see you? No, I don't believe so. You were right. Simple enough to rearrange layers. Odd choice for a prank, though. Situations such as these, odd is good.
Shared a mischievous grin.
Can't wait to see everyone. I can't wait for everyone to see the big reveal. It should be quite memorable. Let's make ourselves scarce for it. Event new I can fish with. Nearest I can tell, this is just achievement shit, but I might as well do it.
Luca wrapped some tape around the hook. Hey, you never know.
Anytime today. Thank you. It's got a bunch of big words written on it. We regret to inform you your application for property rights with respect to the Beacon Pines CBD and surrounding area has been rejected. Who's that for? Valentine Estate. Good. 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 Rolo, are you there? I'm at the treehouse now, Rolo. Mr. Kerr said you were alright. What happened out there? Dang it, Rolo, where are you? Who's there?
Luca could only see a cloaked shape behind the rocket.
I got weapons in here, so you better come out right now.
Strained to hear as a muffled voice began.
Weapons. How could you hurt something that's already dead?
Gripped Luca's throat.
Who are you? What, you don't recognize me? I guess I don't even recognize
Luca stared around for a
recognize
moment,
myself anymore.
trying to place the dampened voice.
Excuse me, sorry.
The figure shifted slowly from behind the rocket, revealing itself to Luca.
You stole my coat, you bastard! I'm a monster. Now they hunt me like the beast I am. Iggy!
Luca reached over empathetically. Iggy's tone jolted to dejected anger.
Don't touch me! This is all your fault.
Luca slumped to the ground, overwhelmed by guilt.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I lost control. So you couldn't control yourself for a second, and I get to be like this forever. Must be a way to fix this. Well, you're going to be my saviour. Perfect little Luca saves the day. With his positive attitude and power of friendship. Aye. None of this matters, there's no time. They're after me. They chased me all through Weak Wood. I only came here to hide. Hide from who? Who's after you? Luca! Rolo? It's not safe, Luca. Rolo, where are you? The treehouse. I'm at the treehouse, Rolo. Where are you? No, Luca, the treehouse isn't safe. They said they were going to the treehouse. I was trying to tell you to stay away from the treehouse. Who said they're going to the treehouse? The clipboards! What did I tell you? Those perennial harvest wackadoos are after me. They've been chasing me, yelling questions at me. Sort of questions. They're saying the same stuff they always do, but it's different now. Less asking, more threatening. We're going to figure this out, Iggy. Yeah, well, thanks. Hello? Is anyone present in this arboreal domicile? Grab the family. Look at what's happening. Don't panic. You stay here, and I'll see what they want. Oh, Mr. Van Hall. We would love to hear your thoughts. Do you have time for an informal chat? We will be brief. Your time is valuable to us. Down in just a second. Of course. We have a problem. Okay, you gotta get out of there. Who's out there? Is it them? Yeah, it's the clipboards. A bunch of them. How many? Maybe all of them? And yeah, you were right. They're saying the same stuff, but with creepy knob tank to 10. Is young Mr. Iggy present? We would love to hear his thoughts. Run!
He slumped to his knees.
I don't know what to do. I'm just so tired. Luca, what do we do?
Luca grabbed the walkie-talkie and headed for the window.
Follow my lead.
Luca and Iggy climbed up the back of the treehouse to its roof, where Rollo had constructed his MCD, the Mission Control Defense Cannon. From behind the crowd of clipboards, William Kerr strode forward, a warm smile on his face.
There you are. You gave all of us a heck of a scare. Go away and leave me alone. I'm sorry, Iggy, but no can do. Don't worry though. We're here to help. Help? Why are you chasing me? Can you talk some sense into your pal here? Just look at him. He's not well. What's wrong with him? What did that gunk do to him? That's a pretty honking big question, Luca. All you need to know is that he's sick. He's real sick. I need you to let us up there and take care of him. You told me Rollo was okay, that he was back in his resting place. Yes, poor fella just got a little lost. That's a lie. It's a hurtful thing to say, Luca. I thought we were buddies. Why, because he lets you ramble on like a wackadoo? Nobody likes you, you creep.
Smile faltered.
Why don't you pop him down here so we can have a chat face to face? Yelling this is going to give us all a heck of a sore throat. And who wants that?
The grip tightened on the MCDC.
What did you do to Rollo, you liar? Well, shucks, Luca. The only teeny tiny fib I told you is that he was at home. But he is resting and he is perfectly safe, for now at least. What happens to him next is up to you. Look around. You're in quite the pickle, and I'm the only person in the whole world who can help you. You get to decide how this ends. With violence!
He was caught in a trap. What do you do when there's no hope? Iggy wiped his cheeks with a sleeve. What are you gonna do, Luca?
Fight!
He drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Fight. He swung the Mission Control Defense Cannon around, aiming it confidently at the smirking face of William Kerr.
Sorry, I'm fussing my face a lot more than usual. I trimmed my mustache like earlier today so I can, take a drink without, excess seepage from my mustache. But I think I cut it too high, and so some of the hairs are just starting to kind of ping up, and I keep feeling it touching my nose, and it's giving me the... Hey, Mr. Kerr.
Most insolent demeanor.
Rollo sends his regards. Hey! That was uncalled for. More than a little rude. Just plain unsanitary. Really, look, I really did think we were good pals. It's a shame that it's come to this.
Turned his back on the two boys.
End
With a
this.
nonchalant wave of the hand, he made his exit. As the clipboards began to slowly advance on the treehouse, Luca looked to Iggy with resignation in his eyes. The end. That escalated quickly. Maybe discretion was the better part of valor here. Let's put a pin in this for now.
So, in this one is when Luca went alone, and instead of saying change, we're saying struggle.
This is a
Before, when I
story
said change,
about
I got
struggle.
killed.
Luca could hear a machine humming somewhere nearby. He felt around wildly, searching for something, anything that could help. His hands found a hard object, maybe a tile? He yanked it free, lifting the cold stone. Let me go! Luca swung the tile as hard as he could at the shape that still held fast to his leg. He heard the crack of glass as the stone hit the assailant's mask. With a muffled yelp, the hand let go. Luca was free and scrambled to the door. He never looked back once on the long run home. Chapter 3. Everything's fine. The next morning, it was quieter than usual at the breakfast table. Only the sound of silverware and chewing interrupted the awkward silence.
Finished jarring a mess of jam last night. Uh-huh. So that'll need to get delivered into town today. Okay. What did Roland get up to yesterday? Roland thinks this, I just sort of poked around town. Set the jam down by the front door. We've got 2 batches to drop off. One for Mr. Tolliver at the Bag and Wag. Another for Mrs. Fratelli at the diner. Oh, Mr. Nuncreed, he said he wanted some more. I suspect as much. Yeah, he seems to have taken a particular interest in my jam. There's some extras in the basket for that enthusiastic gentleman. Just make sure Fratelli and Tolliver get the ones on top. No problem. Off with you now. The day is still young. Just poke. Sorry. Hello, it's Juniper Hartford. Before you hang up, just hear me out. I have a business proposition. Simple matter is we both have the same problem that needs solving. Very well, we can meet tonight. Jam. I like jam. He's alive! Alive! Okay, sorry about yesterday. Roxy can be so annoying. But good news, no more boring chores for me today. Did you make it to the old warehouse? What'd you find? Give me the dirt. Something happened. There was someone else there. What? Who was it? Was it aliens? I knew it would be aliens. No. Zombies? No. Alien zombies? What else could it be? Rollo, got deliveries in town first. We can catch up after. Ooh, it's a whole thing? Sounds like a whole thing. Yeah, we shouldn't talk about it here. Meet me at the treehouse tonight. Not sure what this treehouse is that you speak of. Meet me at mission control. Roger that, Space Cadet. Nerd! Back in my day, we just called it a den. Wait, watch your step! Sorry. There's a whole family of beetles here. They've gone missing. I thought they just sort of wandered around. Everyone has a home, Luca. Even
Luca
beetles.
checked the soles of his sandals.
I think we're okay. It's weird that they're gone. They went missing when... They went missing when the festival preparations began. You think the noise scared them away? Excuse me. Something like that. Just watch your step, okay? Okay. Brain. More good things. You there! You can tell those jerks, doesn't matter how many boxes they pile up, I ain't moving. See? It's just, that's the kind of person I am. Just exist on pure fuck you energy. Hello! Mr. Wilder, trust you have time to chat.
Valentine, oldest of Sharper Valentine's children, and heir to the Valentine fortune, had a way of making questions seem like demands.
Certainly. What seems to be the
Mr.
problem?
Wilder had learned to assume that if he was hearing from Eris, it was because she had taken issue with something he had put in the paper.
Couldn't help but notice that the front page of this morning paper was consumed with stories about this silly festival. Well, yes. That is the news of the day, but there was no mention of the museum, nor the foundation through which it was endowed. I'm sorry, Miss Valentine, my readers are more interested in this town's future, rather than any one family in particular. There was a time, Mr. Wilder, where the goings-on of my family was the only thing this town cared about. things change, man. And you know, change is a dangerous... You finish that thought, I'll make that monocle a permanent fixture of your anatomy. My apologies. Good day, Miss Valentine. Did I give you the impression this conversation was finished?
Mr. Wilder averted his gaze and began to polish his monocle.
Well, good day, Mr. Wilder. Bitch, bitch, bitch! Hey, Don! Hey, looker, what's up? You got your jam delivery, yeah? Yep. Seen a new kid around you? New kid? Yeah, came from the big city. Parents both got jobs here. But get this one. One of them is working for William Kerr and Perennial Harvest. The other is working for R.S. Valentine. And the Valentine represents Beacon Pines past. Perennial Harvest's position itself in town's future. Must make for some interesting dinner table conversations. I can imagine. Well, if isn't my favourite little jam runner. Hey, Miss Fratelli.
She
Look at you.
leaned forward and pinched Lucas' cheek.
You're all skin and bones. Your grand not feeding you? She is. It's just... I understand. You know, I taught your mama how to cook back in the day. You may not even remember. You and her used to help out in the diner. See that picture over there? You helping your mama back in the day. It's so cute, running around your little apron taking orders. Ah, nothing more heartening than child labour. Break! Got a feeling she's out there somewhere, yearning to be with you again. Few things in this world can keep a mother safe from her son.
The basket uncomfortably.
Oh yeah, let's see here.
Telly lifted the cloth and inspected the jam.
Even have my name on them. They're
She
thoughtful.
carefully lifted out her jars of jam.
Tell your grand hello from me. Will do. Don't mind me back here? No? See your kitchen? No? We're just okay with that? Muddy paws and everything? You know, winds are dirty. I've still not bathed since I was dumpster diving. Just be left alone. Sorry to bother you. It's just that that's not what you say when you want to be left alone. Mr. Gurr has asked me to make the opening speech at the festival. Being mayor and all, might expect me to be a charismatic speaker. The truth is, I'm terribly nervous. I don't really think I'm cut out for this sort of thing. Cut out for being mayor or public speaking. Both, I suppose. Never really chose any of this. More of a duty to my family. For our legacy. Sounds like a heavy burden. As for the festival, just speak from your heart. I'm sure it'll be great. People always say you're supposed to picture everyone naked. Then I'll just be embarrassed because I got a hard on in front of everybody.
Huddled at his counter, Hiram Tolliver was meticulously shining apples. More accurately, Hiram Tolliver was meticulously shining one apple.
Hello?
With a yelp, Mr. Tolliver fumbled the apple, flailing at the air as it fell.
Oh, sorry. No bother, no bother.
He leaned forward and lowered his voice.
I see you have something for me. Yeah, granted, some jam I'm supposed to give you.
He leaned in a bit further.
Jam? Yeah. These ones on top. She wrote your name on them.
Tolliver leaned back, speaking loud enough for anyone to hear.
Ah, yes! The jam! Thank you so much for delivering this jam to
He
me.
reached forward and snapped up the jars of jam, giving Luca a little wink.
You can tell I'm in the house myself, can't you? I shall now post it on my store shelves post-haste. Okay, I should finish my deliveries. Of course, of
He
course.
leaned in for a final whisper.
Of course. Weirdo. Hi, bud. Did you keep the ice cream cold? We keep them on ice. Where'd you get the ice from? I don't know. Somewhere cold. How do they keep somewhere cold cold? Look, Bert. Do you want some ice cream or not? No, I'm good. Bert's little dick. Anger from the past. Mistakes not yet made. And declaring hope for the future. He carried them all in equal parts. Everywhere he went. Oh, burdens. Oh, heavens with a burden to bear. allowed to talk to you? Okay. Problem with furries, you're only allowed to speak to them on certain days. Alright, at the diner. Hey, Cado. Afternoon, Luca. Can I help you find something? Maybe, maybe not. Try me. There's been some weird stuff going on at the old Valentine warehouse. Can't say I know anything about the old warehouse, but empty hives don't stay empty for long. Huh?
Kato motioned to the book in front of him.
Want to read about bees, the more similarities I see with people. If a hive collapses and fails, doesn't stay empty for long, a new queen will set up shop pretty quickly. You saying it would make sense for someone new to start using the warehouse? Nature abhors a vacuum. Hey Jess. Hey Luca. Seen this new issue of a Hank Atomic? Not yet. No spoilers please. It's awesome. It's a flashback. No spoilers please. This is like talking to Beej about anything. Beej, if you're here, you know exactly what you're doing. We'll get to see how mild-mannered Henry Adams becomes Hank Atomic, man of space justice. Jace, no. Spoilers! Ah, sorry. The point is you're going to love it. Alright, catch you later. Roger, Space Cadet. Got some jam for you, Mr. Nuncreed. Look at you seem chipper. Well, aside from being on delivery duty, it's a nice day.
Mr. Nuncreed eyed Luca for a moment, then nodded in agreement.
I suppose it is. Do you want your jam? Oh, right. Usually Juniper drops those off herself. Sorry. I guess she's busy today. Anyway, this is my last delivery for the day. Oh, in that case,
Snatched the basket from Luca.
I'll hold on to the basket for next time I see your gran. Creep! Hey, you! Anchovies or pineapple? What? Don't think, just feel. Pineapple. Why? How old are you? 12. Perfect, follow me. Who are you? Sorry. Just try to keep up, okay? Oh. Good. Welp. Hey, what a crazy coincidence. Here's my new friend I was just telling you about. Oh, that's wonderful. Yep, we just hit it off. Oh, really? Get this. Favorite piece of dumpling in the whole world is pineapple. Oh, and what's your new little friend's
Beth
name?
locked eyes with Luca. The look on her face was equal parts expectant and desperate.
Luca Van Horn, nice to meet you. I'm Nellie, and this is Ilona. We're Beck's
Beck
parents.
gave Luca a quick nudge.
My nose! Oh yeah, Beck told me all about you. Already feels like we've known each other for years. Both can stop obsessing about me making friends. Oh darling, we never doubted you. Just that for children fewer than 5 close friends, the probability of stunted development doubles. 1 down, 4 to go, I guess. What Nelly means is that we just want this move to be as easy on you as possible. You can relax. A friend has been friended. This calls for a celebration. Cheese for everyone! Luca, you must join us for dinner tonight. Dinner? Wow, another coincidence. Actually, already asked him and he said he would love to. It's just wonderful! In that case, we should pick up some groceries. You two don't get into too much trouble now. Oh, my nose! Ah. Well, I can't believe that worked. Thanks a ton. You're welcome. How are you doing? My mom's great and all, but they can be a bit much sometimes. Our house is a little cottage next to that big mansion place. Wait, you live on the Valentine estate? Yeah, that's the spot. Meet me by their big creepy gate. Don't be late. We're back to square one with this whole friend grift. Great. See you there. How about I do? Old Pickler sounds like some kind of swear, doesn't it? Mansion. Sorry, my brain had to do a quick load there. Morning, Jeff.
What's good about it? Any further down the tubes, if you ask me?
Oh no, it's not all bad. Festival's coming up.
Huh? Festival? Old man Valentine used to put on cockamamie shindigs all the time. Where did that get us?
Well, Perennial Harvest is putting on this one. They're doing it for the whole town.
As far as I see it, difference between the old Valentine company and this new perennial harvest outfit.
Jeff dug through his pockets for a bit.
Difference between this empty soup can and this brown banana.
Those are both garbage. Exactly. Sorry.
Exactly.
I'm never going to remember that voice. I don't expect it to be that again. Skippity skip. Who lives in that house? Eris and Gus Valentine grew up there, and Solomon moved in a few years back. The creepy little kid in the vest? Sounds like the one. Just 3 people live in that huge thing? A bunch of shady stuff happens all the time in a place like that. Not really. The Valentines pretty much keep to themselves. So it's empty and boring. Pretty much. What a waste. My mum says it used to be way busier back before Sharper died. Before the foul harvest. Okay, that's like the 5th time someone mentioned this foul harvest thing. All of you use that same and you all use that same ominous tone. Eventually you're going to explain to me how that harvest got all fouled up. But we can't keep my parents waiting anymore. This way. Those kids would have just ditched me by this point. Why are you still here? You look like you could use some help. You know what, Luca? You're not so bad. Let's get through this as simply as possible. Just eat, smile, nod. Fun. Great! Whatever you do, don't bring up their work. I think I can handle that.
Long breath, then gave a firm nod.
Here goes nothing.
Chapter 4.
You know what time it is.
Dinner with the Moodwills. Ilona Moodwill was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love, couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates. Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that.
So Luca, tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? Oh, I live with my grandma. On the other side of the, of the river. Your grandma? Where are your parents at? Beck, manners. It's alright. My dad passed away in an accident in the fertilizer plant 6 years back. Oh dear. My mom's been missing for a few months now. Like, missing?
His eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Luca, how did you like the pizza? That was good. Very good. Sorry.
Ilona nervously gestured toward the boxes.
We aren't fully settled in, and Beck had mentioned that it's your favourite. I'm sorry. We're just skipping the part I said his mom is missing. Beck! Sorry, Luca. This move has us all a little tired.
His face with his sleeve.
I feel like I've been punched in the throat all of a sudden. No, it's fine. Beck said you moved here for work.
Gave Luca a swift kick under the table.
Yow! Man, what brought you to Beacon Pines? You're right the first time. We're here for work. Nellie won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. Don't know about brilliant, but I do love it. She's brilliant. She makes her own cocaine. Bruno Harvest just made... Don't laugh at your own jokes, Brian, come on. Bruno Harvest just made her their newest lead researcher of deep engineering. She makes it sound more impressive than it is. Do you remember that title? Deep Engineering? I'm just happy I get to make a difference in the world. Perennial harvest is at the forefront of evolving agriculture. Something more useful than sprinkling water into something more useful than sprinkling water on next winter.
Luca glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath.
But Nelly means, Luca, throws different ways to grow plants. Some people talk to the plants and hope for the best. And some people happily leave their job to allow their loved one to pursue their dream. I swore you didn't.
Slammed her fist into the table, perhaps harder than she intended.
Hey, Luca, how about some dessert? I actually have to meet
Luca
my friend
glanced
Rolla soon.
outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous cloud.
Looks like there's a storm brewing. I should get going. Didn't think there was any rain in the almanac. Yeah, almanacs aren't that useful
Luca
around
wiped
here.
his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up.
Thank you for the pizza. It was really good. See you at the festival, Beck. Wait up! I first put on the makeup. I'll walk you home.
Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rollo could be prickly around new people. But Beck seemed cool. Rollo would warm up to her eventually, probably.
How about we make it one last choice for the night then, folks? Rumble or break. So, thunder and lightning or just rain, I think. Tea takers. Oh well. 3, 2, 1.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
Rumble. You sure we can make it home before the storm
Luca
kicks off?
surveyed the roiling clouds.
I'd say the odds are good. Maybe we should just stay here, and I'll just make a break.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Care to recalculate those odds? Start inside you two before you catch a cold. God, Nelly will keep trying to reach your gran on the phone. Meantime, you two hold on. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I am tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for
Luca
47
wiped
days.
his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's weird, I know.
Looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? A little. But weird can be cool. And also grotty. Oh wow. Roll and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. Mom and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts, fitted with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. So when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles.
I can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. Wouldn't believe the stuff I picked up back in the city. Around here, it's all farm reports and static. Yeah, shit.
Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime. He flipped open the attached card.
Happy trails from Coach Walker and the Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Sorry. Was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools give me going away cards, some with flowers. when they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. So you moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. It's always a better job than someone else. These flowers would last longer if you put them into water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. You know, you cared enough to keep them, that's all. Can I ask you something? Sure. Dang, didn't that hurt? I'll be honest, hurt more than I expected. At least she looked cool doing it.
It took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
You ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Well, it can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know that feeling. How'd you deal with that? Guess I haven't. One thing my dad told me when I was little, don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do? When you don't know what to do. Never got to that part. Something figured out on my own though. You gotta do something. Anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. Going to register our complaints with the storm. Just hear you miserable universe stop jerking me around. I wouldn't do things. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone tells me it's going to be alright. Things are going to change.
Let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town! Whoa. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Just deal with it. Be happy for my mom. Why can't we just stay somewhere? Roar!
Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper. Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. I actually feel a little better.
Quickly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks, I needed that. Should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you. See you and Rollo at the festival. Sounds good. Okay? Don't let the universe jerk
Beck
you.
gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter 5. Friendly Feud. The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue, the smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rollo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rollo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
So Nintendo does it, real threes, yo. I'm gonna call it here because I feel like something's like punching me in the throat all of a sudden. So, how do I save? I'm going to assume this is auto-saved. I guess it is because it says right there on the screen saved. Anyway. Sorry. Cheers for watching, folks. This has been the busiest stream in a while. Fancy. Just scroll over here. And down we disappear. And down we stop streaming. Good luck, take it easy. Bye.